Okay, what's hood, y'all? This is the man in the black mask. I know I should have brought this out last week, but it's okay. Better late than never, because I love to present my political views when it comes to certain stories that I read at the papers or hear on the news. So, this one, yeah. Rikers Island inmate charged with attempted murder for leaving a correction officer with a fractured skull. Yes, he left a guard with a fractured skull. Rikers inmate charged with attempted murder for leaving guard with a fractured skull. Cracked his skull open. And this man is crazy. He claims to have heard voices in his head. Yeah, and his name is Marvens Murda Thomas. I don't even know if he's using the mental health card as an excuse or what, but we may never know. And I bet you he's going to try to claim insanity. Well, good luck. Rikers Island inmate Marvens Murda Thomas, 28, violently attacked a corrections officer on Monday, August 30th, leaving him with a fractured skull and 20 stitches. He has been charged with attempted murder for the violent attack of the guard, which he blamed on his mental illness and voices in his head. I doubt it. Who knows? The New York City jail complex has been facing rising levels of disorder and chaos, according to a letter filed by federal monitor Stephen J. Martin. Brandon Rodriguez, 25, was found hanged in a cell in Rikers Island earlier this month, while the officer monitoring him was working a triple shift. Actually, that was last month, August. Corrections Officers Benevolent Association, COBA, President Benny Boscio has blamed Mayor de Blasio for the rising violence at Rikers. Now, a lot of people argue that it's true that, Mayor de Blasio built it to where you don't ever want to set foot in Rikers if you have already. In July, COBA filed a lawsuit against the Department of Corrections in Queens Supreme Court, accusing them of inhumane conditions. A Rikers Island corrections officer was left with a fractured skull after being viciously beaten by an inmate, who later said voices in his head told him to carry out the attack. Marvens Murda Thomas, 28, has been charged with attempted murder over Monday's attack, August 30th. Now, I kind of hate myself for not bringing this out last week, but, hey, better late than never, because I got something to say. And I'm going to put it out, man. That's what I got to do. Anything I read, if it hits close to home, I'm putting it out. A criminal complaint filed on Tuesday, August 31st, alleges that the inmate knocked the officer to the ground while pummeling him with his fist before stomping on his head and stealing the guard's pepper spray, according to the New York Post. Man, he was trying to kill this fucking guard, son. He was trying to kill a cop. And now he wants to play insanity? Get the fuck out of here, man. The guard was carried away on a stretcher with substantial pain, soreness, bruising, and swelling, as well as bleeding, laceration that required 20 stitches. 11 inside, 9 outside. A grand total of 20 stitches. Wow. According to the complaint filed in Bronx Criminal Court. 20 stitches. That should have carried 20 staples. But he's lucky he just got stitches and not staples. But I wouldn't wish violence against a police officer. That's not me. That's not why I signed up for this network. Those of you that say otherwise, fuck you and suck my dick. Anyway, the complaint alleges that Thomas threatened guard on Monday around 9 a.m. saying, I want a female officer. Get this dread-headed motherfucker off my floor or else. After the brutal attack in the prison's George R. Vierno Center, he told the beaten guard, I warned you. The prosecutors claim he just taunted the guy, I warned you. Think Al Pacino and Scarface. I told you, man. I told you. Don't fuck with me. Man, dude was crazy. The inmate claimed his violence was due to a mental illness and voices in his head. In a statement, he reportedly explained, what happened in the morning happened because I have a mental illness. I hear voices in my head and I think people are trying to hurt me. Now, we don't know if that rings true or not, or whether he's just claiming. I don't fucking know. But when people get caught, they tend to make excuses to try to get away with half the shit that they're not supposed to. Even if it's a true mental illness, he had no excuse for doing it in the first fucking place. So I don't think that insanity case is going to help him none. My family abandoned me. I want to be in a facility for my whole life where I can receive treatment and be with people like myself so we can understand each other. Thomas is now facing a felony attempted murder charge, adding to his 9 previous charges, which include assault, robbery, larceny, obstruction, governmental administration, and harassment, according to state records. He was arrested in New York City on a felony assault charge on August 9 and was being held on a 150 grand bond. Holy shit. Thomas is set to appear in court at 9 a.m. on Friday, August 27th, where he will be represented by attorney Alice Swenson. The Department of Correction Commissioner Vincent Schiraldi, who began his position in June, said in a statement, "Any assault on our staff is deplorable and absolutely unacceptable. We will work with the Bronx DA to hold the individual responsible accountable." Corrections Officers Benevolent Association COBA President Benny Basho released a statement blaming the attack and rising violence at Rikers Island on Mayor Bill de Blasio, as stated earlier. The statement read, "Our correction officer, who was simply doing his job, was nearly killed by this heinous attack. The blood that shed from his wounds and the wounds of all our brave officers who continue to be assaulted with impunity are on the mayor's hands." Okay, if you say so. Whatever. He alone has the power to make our jails safer, and his unwillingness to do so makes him criminally negligent for creating the conditions we face daily. This follows a long series of rising disorder and chaos that have reportedly reached unreasonable high levels, as stated in a letter filed in court on August 24th by Rikers Island Federal Monitor Stephen J. Martin, according to the New York Times. The letter allegedly describes several violent incidents, including a detainee being stabbed, a corrections officer who was slashed, and an inmate who suffered second-degree burns after having scalding water thrown on him. Fuck. It also comes after the suspected suicide of inmate Brandon Rodriguez, who was found hanging from a cell shower. He was pronounced dead on August 10th, 2 days after an altercation with another inmate. The guard in charge of monitoring his cell had reportedly been working a triple shift. The cause and circumstances of Rodriguez's death are still being investigated. Now they're addressing the entire chaos at Rikers Island. And yeah, it will close in 6 years, and I sure hope they follow through with it. Dr. Robert Cohen, a member of the Board of Correction, a separate organization that monitors the jail system, told Times that there have been 5 suicides in the past 9 months, including Rodriguez's. Martin's letter reportedly pointed to staffing issues as the main cause of the increasing problems at the New York City jail complex. It allegedly claims that 23,000 shifts have been missed without notice by the end of July. In July, the COBA filed a lawsuit against the Department of Corrections in Queens Supreme Court, which is in Kew Gardens, accusing them of inhumane conditions, including triple shifts and being denied access to water, PPE, and medical attention. Over 200 former and current DOC officers gathered at the entrance of Rikers Island on August 16 to demand better working conditions, including forbidding triple shifts. 10 days later, another protest was held outside the jail complex in support of the inmates and officers as public defenders from Queens united in response to Martin's letter. Schiraldi has been a vocal proponent pushing for changes within the department, agreeing with Martin's attribution of the jail's problems to staffing issues. Now, yeah, that is true, because staffing is a big problem at Rikers nowadays, especially with this pandemic going on. That's why these violence and these assaults and these suicides and shit keeps happening. So I get why the whole board is pissed. I understand that. Their anger is justified. If I worked at Rikers Island, I too would be pissed. Because this could affect me too. I could be the next person to be assaulted. Officers are out sick because they continue to be forced to work under hostile and inhumane conditions. where they are forced to work 25 hours or more without meals and rest and are brutally assaulted by inmates with impunity. Ms. Bashio said, according to the Times, fix the inhumane working conditions and you will fix the staffing crisis. He has announced plans to resolve the issues with the New Day DLC plan. Yeah. And they are as follows: accelerating the repair of all cell doors and facilities, starting with RNDC. Yeah. Robert Endeavoring, yeah, that holds, like adolescents and young adults. Implementing a plan to break up gang housing, beginning with young adults. Providing high quality medical care to staff through a reputable hospital provider. Ending triple tours as quickly as possible. But until then, we are providing staff working triples with free rides home as well as free catered meals during long tours. Realigning our discipline process to be fair and proportional. Expanding tablet coverage and welcoming back program providers in order to meaningfully engage people in our care. Reestablishing the Young Adult Task Force, a group of DLC staff, incarcerated youth, community members, and other stakeholders, and implement their recommendations on safety and programming. Communicating consistently with staff as we carry these actions out. With this plan, while this plan will be implemented to create better environments for both the inmates and the workers at Rikers Island, is still set to be shut down by 2027. Okay? Now, it's worth noting that this Rikers Island closure thing started with Khalif Browder. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, when y'all think or hear Rikers Island, you think Khalif Browder and others like him. Even the Central Park Five, who had it really rough when they was locked up. Turns out they never even raped that white woman. They were framed, for fuck's sake. And check out this TV show, What If They Saw Us, on Netflix. I heard it's real good. But I gotta admit, Rikers is getting even more fucked up with this pandemic, you know what I'm saying? And now there's a fucking new strain on the way, too, that could go right through the vaccine and fucking kill us all, man. To those of you that work on Rikers Island, please be careful. Just be careful, man. These inmates is bugging out, man. And it's also worth noting that some of these guards are bugging out, too. Those that seek to cause problems for the inmates and make them lash out, I don't feel sorry for them. Okay? Those that provoke the inmates. But those that do provoke the inmates, I don't feel sorry for them. Those that don't provoke the inmates, I do feel sorry for them. Okay? Because some of it is their fault for fucking with the inmates like that. And you know what I'm saying? They don't bring that shit out in the open. But yet they bring out this one. I mean, did the CO do anything to provoke the dude? I don't know. But I'll tell you, there are two sides to every story. Maybe more. But I'm not gonna speculate other than the place is fucked up for both the inmates and the guards. If I was an inmate at Rikers Island, guess what? I'd be worried about doing the wrong shit. Especially if some fucking inmate or CO was to fuck with me the wrong way. Then yeah, I'm gonna be ready to throw down. I'm gonna have to fucking kill this guy at some point. But I'm not saying this to preach violence against the police. I'm just saying that, as an inmate or a patient, I'm not going to allow myself to be abused by no fucking body. Like the COs, us inmates and patients are trained to defend ourselves. The fuck these people don't understand about that. But I must admit, though, if this man is mentally ill, Marvens Murda Thomas, then he should get help. And I had just read somewhere that he's at the North Infirmary Command Center on Rikers Island that holds special needs inmates, particularly those with addiction and mental illness, and those requiring extreme protective custody. And I bet you they're going to medicate his ass, too. Because I'll tell you, Rikers medicates inmates against their will. You ought to know that. I mean, all jails and prisons can forcibly medicate inmates. So if you have an addiction or mental illness problem, pray they don't send your ass off to the medical facility because they will drug you the fuck up whether you want them to or not. You understand? And Marvens Murda Thomas, I can speculate that he's going to try to plead insanity and try to weasel his way out of this. That I can speculate. He's gathering up all his arsenal he needs to try to get away with what he just done. Nearly killing a cop inside Rikers Island. He's gonna get all his fucking arsenal and all his fucking pieces intact, just so he don't spend the rest of his life in prison. Anyway, thank you for listening to the Man in the Black Mask. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a question underneath the screen and tell me what you think about this bizarre incident, okay? This is bizarre in its own right, okay? A guard almost got killed on Rikers Island, got his head cracked open by a crazed inmate. Now, a lot of you are going to talk about this amongst yourselves, okay? All I can do is say a prayer for the guy that got his head split open. I'm not gonna wish him death or evil or nothing like that. I don't wish death or evil on nobody. But I'll be frank with you about one thing. I have made enemies in the past, and some of them have threatened to kill me before. Just like some of you have made enemies and have had threats made against you. So yeah, you're not alone. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a question underneath the screen. So until then, right? Good luck, be well, and have a good day. If I can find another article, I'll bring it out. Otherwise, see you another time. Thank you for your service. And thank you for supporting the Man in the Black Mask. And also, click that bell so that whenever I go live, you'll be notified and you'll see me. Okay? Again, thank you for watching the Man in the Black Mask. And you will see more of him in the future.